Thanks very much, Annalise. I'd like to start by paying my respects to the Yagara and Turrbah peoples on whose lands we meet today. And thank again, Annalise, and the organisers of this forum for bringing together such a diverse group of stakeholders in the room and online to have perhaps the most important discussion that most people are not paying attention to. Internet governance is a field on which geopolitics and ideological differences are being contested in ways that we probably didn't foresee in the early days of the internet. And this requires us to stand up for a multi-stakeholder approach to internet governance that prevents any one group from exerting undue influence over the future of the internet. It's only through conversations like that which we'll have today with government, the tech sector, industry, academia, civil society, all represented, that we can preserve the benefits of the digital domain. Combining this event with the Asia Pacific Regional Internet Governance Forum is incredibly powerful. We need to speak with a combined voice to promote the interests of this region against the powerful interests that dominate this debate globally. This doesn't mean we always agree, and I'm hoping today to hear and join in some vigorous and respectful debate. In this increasingly contested international environment, we cannot assume that the rules and norms that stabilise the globe will continue to hold. Indeed, we need to put cybersecurity, internet governance, critical technology governance at the centre of our foreign policy and strategic policy making. The open and interoperable internet is at the heart of our foreign policy interests. We cannot be complacent that digital technology and the internet will evolve in ways that align with our interests. We, the people in this room and joining us online, are the people who will shape this future. The Australian government is committed to multilateral cooperation to support the international rules-based order, and our response to the challenges and opportunities presented by cyberspace and digital technologies will be guided by our values as a liberal democratic country. This means that we put the principles of human rights, the rule of law, fairness, open competition, security, transparency, respect and integrity at the heart of all our policy making and our advocacy. Our interests are not served by turning away from these principles or by turning inwards and letting others shape the global order, particularly when it comes to the technical management and governance of the internet. This is a hugely consequential era for policy making and international cooperation. Cyber and technology diplomacy is not niche, it's actually at the core of how we see our place in the world. We're seeing that for too long, tech companies and other states have been more present and more active than governments like ours in shaping the global technological future. In May, and then commencing in the role in July, I began as Australia's Ambassador for Cyber Affairs and Critical Technology. My job is to work with partners across government, industry, and internationally to ensure that we can collectively confront the risks of cyberspace and technology and embrace the opportunities that they offer. I'm also playing a key role in the development of Australia's new cybersecurity strategy, which looks to the period 2023 to 2030. That strategy will enhance our position, lifting our cybersecurity capability and taking a bold role in how we advocate for the interests of this region in the development of global digital technologies, in the internet and in cybersecurity. In developing the strategy, which will be released hopefully later this year, we're considering how Australia can do more through international engagement and cooperation to ensure transparent international standards development, to defend open internet governance, to uphold responsible state behaviour in cyberspace, and to counter malicious cyber criminal activity. I want to briefly talk about a couple of these issues in a bit more depth: a secure region and open internet governance. As you know better than most people, the ecosystem of technologies on which the internet depends has evolved over time to maintain and improve the security, stability, and resilience of the internet. It's an incredible story of human ingenuity and innovation. Australia has always advocated for continuing this multi-stakeholder approach to the issue of internet governance. The multi-stakeholder approach is decentralised, places individuals, industry, non-commercial interests and governments on an equal level, allowing for community-based policy making. Multi-stakeholder governance recognises that all stakeholders have a valuable contribution to make in internet governance discussions and decisions. Crucially, it prevents any group, including states, from exerting undue influence over the internet. It reflects the internet's collaborative origins and means that all stakeholders are able to contribute to the technical management and policy of the internet. As the Minister said, it's a proven model for responding to the complex challenges that the internet has presented, and Australia will defend it. But everyone here is aware that as the strategic importance of the internet increases, so too does competition over how it is managed. These days, the internet is a foundational piece of global infrastructure for economics and trade, for information, for social connections, and unfortunately for criminal activities. And so many authoritarian states would prefer to limit the ability of non-government stakeholders to influence decisions on the future of the internet and emerging technology. They want an internet that is more easily controlled by states. Let me be clear, Australia opposes all attempts to bring governance and technical management of the internet under the control of governments or into the multilateral system. We support continuing the inclusive, multi-stakeholder, consensus-based forums that promote open and voluntary standards for the internet. But we also advocate for continuing the consensus-based improvement of the existing mechanisms. Like the internet itself, the multi-stakeholder model must evolve to meet the challenges of administering this vital piece of global infrastructure. We cannot be myopic about this. Legitimate states rightfully need to play a role in the governance of such a crucial piece of global infrastructure. And the ills and malicious uses of the internet have proliferated in ways that we have failed to counteract, from cybercrime to child abuse material to disinformation and long-range foreign interference in our democratic institutions. We have to acknowledge that governments represent their peoples. Technology companies and the technical community do not. There is a legitimate, indeed imperative role for governments to play in preventing the malicious use of the internet. But it is crucial that the technical management and governance of the internet balances the needs and views of the private sector, civil society, and government. Interoperability and freedom from political interference in the technical layer of the internet is paramount. Laws that have a detrimental impact on the internet protocol or the domain name system risk the functionality of the internet and risk bringing on the very fragmentation that we all want to avoid. Australia will continue to work to ensure that the multi-stakeholder model is sustained as the basis for global decision-making for internet governance and technical policy issues, while still welcoming discussion on how existing multi-stakeholder mechanisms can evolve rather than looking at the establishment of new mechanisms. This is hugely important for our region. Through the new cybersecurity strategy, we'll continue to raise awareness of internet governance issues across the Indo-Pacific. But more than just raising awareness, we'll support the capacity of countries in this region to engage meaningfully in these forums. For example, we've worked with partner governments to develop the Women and International Security in Cyberspace Fellowship. We currently support fellows from across our region, from Tokelau to Thailand, to participate in cyber-related multilateral discussions. The strategic significance of this fellowship and having women leaders in cyber and digital technologies turn up to multilateral forums has been tangible and quantifiable. It's a really successful example of how we can build the capacity of this region. We sometimes hear state-led criticisms that the multi-stakeholder model is not fit for purpose to address online harms, and that states ought to increase their control over the internet to counter harms. We can see that the Pacific is being hammered by scams and ransomware that take advantage of the openness of the internet. We need to ensure that we can address these criticisms by demonstrating to our region that the multi-stakeholder model has and will continue to ensure the stability of the internet. Just to finish up, cyberspace, internet governance, and critical technologies are central to the future prosperity of Australia, the Indo-Pacific regions, and the global community. We need to be bold and confident in addressing the implications, for better or worse, of new technologies, mitigating the risks, and taking advantage of the opportunities they create. Australia is taking a strong values-based action to achieve our aim, which is underpinned by working in partnership with countries in the region. We're looking to join with our Indo-Pacific partners in shaping, upholding and defending international rules, norms and standards in all our collective interests, and striving for a safe, secure and prosperous world enabled by safe cyberspace and new technologies. Ultimately, we're here to defend the multi-stakeholder internet governance model, which ensures all stakeholders have the capacity to actively engage and have their voices represented in international discussions on the future of the internet. Thank you very much.